Let's start with your reading, Gemini. Today, we are going to take a look into your situation, what you're going through, and the messages that you should hear about today. Also, keep in mind that the energies do go both ways. Feel free to interpret the direction of the messages as it best resonate with your own personal situation. Now, let's begin with your main message. Three of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, the Empress, and then this Ten of Wands over here. I feel that you are coming from a situation in which you gave your all. You gave everything that you had, everything that you could have done, whereas the other person potentially instead did not contribute as much, did not behave in the same way that you did. And that might have been very painful overall, especially towards the end. There is a disappointment that perhaps comes from the fact that you wanted different things. Even if you seem to be on the same page at first, wanting to build the same thing, wanting to manifest the same outcome, eventually things might have turned out very differently. You have also been wondering, how do you often end up in situations similar to this one? Situations in which you build hope, you build expectations, and then ending up always having to walk away, to leave something or someone behind. Doesn't it feel like a pattern? Doesn't it feel like something that keeps repeating over and over again? And also something that you don't feel in control of. How do you go from something so beautiful, something that feels so precious, so fundamental and important to you, to instead a situation where you have to walk away from it, protect yourself from it, trying to ignore it, trying to pretend that it didn't even happen, This is not easy, but what I love about this energy, seeing the Empress, is that you're starting to realize that you shouldn't fight for these people anymore. You shouldn't fight for these situations anymore. All you should fight for is yourself and your happiness, your goals, your expectations. I see here a shift in vision and in focus as well. You're not wanting to focus on this person's needs, what they're doing, what they're saying, what they're thinking, and what they're feeling. Whereas right now, instead, you want to focus about how you are feeling and what you want, what you are doing. It's not easy because at some point, as we were saying, you've put this person first. And that is something that takes a while to change. So if you are still in the shifting process, be patient, be kind to yourself, Gemini, because these things did not happen overnight for anyone. And so it's very important for you to understand how much you should expect time-wise. Give yourself time, because you're really going to see a beautiful transformation eventually here, and we'll get there soon. Overall, you are tired of giving second chances and you're ready for something better. But there is more about this situation that you're leaving behind. I need to get a few more cards to understand if there is anything missing that you should know about before walking away, before truly letting go. Here it comes. Six of Swords, Two of Cups, and the Page of Wands with the Knight of Swords over here. You really seem to be sure about this. I mean, right here, Six of Swords, moving on, letting go, not looking back. Although it might hurt. But despite your sadness, you remember that moving on is the only option for your future. And so you're trying to accept the lesson, you're trying to accept everything that has happened so that you can really let go of this. And what I see here, in case I have also the Gemini cross watcher, is definitely a person who's really moving on, who's not just moving on to trigger a reaction from the other person, you know? You're not being passive aggressive or wanting to see them doing specific things when you leave. You really are disappointed. And all you want to do right now is just forget about it all. This person where I see here is that they have pushed you away so many times that eventually you couldn't even remember why you wanted them in the first place. They might have ended things directly or just, with their actions. Some people push you away indirectly. They do so, but they do not do so officially. Something is changing deep within you, and people around you are starting to noticing this. People are connected to you energetically, at least for some reason. They're seeing a transformation. And when I say people, I also mean this person that you're leaving behind, who's starting to show up again for some reason. Page of Wands. I see here a need potentially to talk, to send a message, to reconnect. I see passion growing out of a place that felt stagnating, that felt dead, that felt cold. How is this spark coming back up again? I see that at the end of it, at the end of the day, you are learning to love yourself again. Love yourself first, and that's when things will really start to change. Obviously, when someone treats us poorly, it's not our fault, right? It's not like something that we should blame ourselves for. But at the same time, it's always useful to just look back at the situation and be like, let me just see where maybe I have allowed certain things to happen, where maybe I gave too much, overgave, overtrusted, moved too fast, whatever that was, so that I don't make the same mistake again. And right here, I see that you, and we know that about Gemini, you're such a giver. And when you love someone, you give your all. We've seen it right here. You focus on that person, it becomes your project, it becomes your destination, right? But you should never forget you in that equation. You should never forget what's important to you. And although some compromising, it's always normal. When you compromise to the point where you don't even remember who you are and what's important to you, that's not good, because it means that you're doing all the work. Now, we've seen the situation, we've seen what you're leaving behind. But what's next? What you're moving towards? Let's see. Oh my God, the Sun, Justice, Seven of Pentacles, and Judgment. Over here, oh my God, Gemini. There is a lot of happiness here coming up all of a sudden. We've seen the struggle, we've seen the second guessing, we've seen the confusion, the fears, the disappointments. And now, as soon as we focus on your future, as soon as we turn that spotlight onto the future, everything changes. And quick. It does so quick as well. With Justice coming up there and Judgment, it feels like someone will try to get your attention once again. Coming in maybe with, no, maybe, definitely with regret, and maybe with a powerful message as well, if they find the courage to let it out, to let out what they really feel. There is a lot of overall attraction in the next few months. You attracting people from the past, also attracting new people, new opportunities, and starting to feel on a stage again, not in the audience anymore, powerless when it came to the evolution of your life. Now, instead, you know that you are in control. And the only thing that you really need to control is your beliefs and your priorities. As long as you put yourself first, everything changes. People will start to put you first as well. One particular energy is coming in, and this will really surprise you and put a huge smile on your face. This is making you feel the rush, the endorphins, making you want to jump in the air and just feeling one with the universe, one with your environment, not feeling a stranger in your own life anymore, you know? I can't help but feeling that this might be the person who you walked away from, but we'll have to see when we start clarifying. But the question, in case that's them, is why are they still thinking about you after potentially creating the conditions in which the situation ended in the first place? Why are they still wanting to reconnect? Why are they still here? We have to look into that. Also, keep in mind that your decision, whatever you're going to decide right here in the sun position, it's going to impact the next few months, potentially even years for you. This is a big transformation, and we see that it's just the seed for something bigger to happen later on. What is that going to be about? We'll have to find out. So let's start clarifying. Let's start looking into all these incoming energies to understand what you should expect next from this person, from the universe in general, after you finally prioritize yourself. Let's see what this energy will bring to you in the short term future, and let's see how it's meant to evolve in the distant future as well. Also, let's see what else is coming your way in the next few months that you should absolutely know about today, Gemini. If you want to dive deeper into the messages with me, just follow me in the extended reading link below in the description box. Also, don't forget that every single week I randomly select viewers who have watched the extended video to offer them a 100% free, personal, live 30-minute reading. I send out emails every Monday morning. Make sure to check out your spam folder as well. Now, stay tuned for the extended preview coming right up after this. Welcome back to your extended reading, Gemini. What we see coming towards you is definitely a lot of action. What we see coming towards you is someone who's going to take the lead, someone who's going to come in determined, come in with a clear vision, uh, not playing games as to what it is that they want to achieve right now. This person is clear. This person is straightforward, potentially for the first time in a long, long time. And we'll see what this is going to be about. We'll see the details of this. But overall, I see someone who comes in and who's not willing to take no for an answer. For once, reconciliation. We see just you rebuilding a stable place for yourself. It could be you reconciling with this person or reconciling with yourself, with who you wanted to be and who potentially you forgot you wanted to be. So I do feel excited for what's coming towards you. Then let's find out the details of this so that we can prepare for anything that is actually coming your way. Let's start by clarifying this chariot energy and also the King of Wands, who is the person who's bringing all of this to you. Six of Swords. I mean, here we have the confirmation as to who this chariot person is. Oh my God. Surprise. We have a very important surprise for you, Gemini, here. The first thing that we